Hello, lovelies. Interesting times locally. The Ocado delivery warehouse in Andover is burning down, has burned down, is still burning at this point. For those who are abroad, Ocado is a food delivery, a grocery delivery service, but it's one without a chain of stores in the way that, say, Tesco does. So here you can go online, you can talk to your supermarket, you can tell them, I want this, 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 and this, and they will deliver it to you. And that's better for the environment, easier for you, costs a little bit extra, but not very much when you consider driving and parking and everything else. It's a pretty good service, and most of the big supermarkets offer this. Ocado is different in that it's not linked to a supermarket, though it kind of is, as they've partnered with Waitrose. Waitrose is like the middle class supermarket. So you got the toffs that only ever go to farmers markets or Fortnum and Mason or something. The middle classes go to Waitrose, and us plebs in the lower classes go to Tesco, and then the underclass goes to Lidl and Aldi and places like that. So we have a tiered class system even for supermarkets here in the UK. But Ocado's slightly different. Anyway, this was one of their flagship locations where as much as possible was automated. And this is the one that's caught fire, burned down, fell over, continues to burn. So badly that they've had to evacuate for 500 meters in all directions. They've set up like a refugee camp in one of the schools. To be fair to Ocado, they have been bringing in food, drink, nappies, essentials to the people who've had to evacuate from their other warehouse locations and so on. So yeah, that's the long and the short of it. There's potential for explosions and toxic smoke and all the rest of it. They thought they had it under control, but it's been burning for 2 days now. Not good. But it's interesting, or at least what's interesting to me is people's reactions to this. Now, we've got a lot of narrative in the news and so on lately about robots taking people's jobs. And this kind of shows what can happen when you don't have people who can assess weird, different, new situations on site. Because scuttlebutt is that the fire was spread by the robots, because the robots don't seem to have any means to know that they're on fire. So the fire started as part of their ambient grid, apparently, the thing that powers the robots moving around. I don't know whether it's loops, induction loops under the floor or whatever. But it started there, but then some of the robots caught fire and carried on about their business, spreading the fire around the warehouse to the point where it was uncontrollable. That's the scuttlebutt anyway. We're still waiting to hear absolutely. But yeah, it sounds plausible to me. And it certainly does sound like the lack of having humans there in sufficient numbers to observe and react and do something sensible to adapt to an unexpected situation was to the detriment of this whole thing. And this being a big experimental automated store and so on, this is obviously going to have some kind of knock-on effects on people's thoughts going forward with that. But it just goes to show that even packing and stacking, there are times when you need human oversight, human adaptability, and so on. Is that going to stop the inexorable rise of automation? Probably not, but it may slow it slightly, at least here in the UK. The other thing that I found interesting was the kind of indications of a beginning, perhaps, of some sort of Luddite anti-robot sentiment, because, well, twofold: class resentment and robot resentment. I think because this is Ocado and they're entrenched in the middle class, a lot of people were just like, where are you going to get your avocados, sort of comments on social media. So it just shows that there's still a resentment to the elites, even though we're only talking about the middle classes, and a distinct lack of sympathy. There are a lot of people online complaining that their orders haven't been delivered, probably unaware of the fire. Let's be generous, but still, middle class rage knows no bounds. And then, as well as all that, you have people saying good. The robots have been destroyed, and posting an awful lot of Terminator GIFs. But it's just interesting to see that reaction. And when automation really starts biting into people's jobs, people that matter, that's when I think we're going to see some sort of fully fledged Luddite revolt against these things. Long live Ned Ludd, and all hail His Majesty King Mob. Zang. Postmortem Studios, role-playing games, and a lot more to die for. Post-mort.com.
Everyone's so ordinary.